Finding problems? That's easy. They exist in every community. I'm Terry Springs, your host. We're looking deeper, and we are talking solutions, finding out how we all can make a difference. Now on Talking Solutions, want to welcome back into the studio our friend Leticia with the Live to Give group. Thanks for coming in. We're already talking Supply a Teacher Drive.
Yep, that's correct.
Also want to welcome Alicia Fletcher. You teach fourth grade?
Yes, ma'am.
At Hollingsworth Elementary.
Yes, ma'am.
We're talking about school supply drive. Leticia, you also have involved our friends with Porta Subs as far as locations where we can go donate.
Yes, they're our presenting sponsor this year, and they have opened up 37 of their locations here locally to be a drop-off place for these supplies. And they are doing a fun initiative. If you go in any Porta Subs and drop off at least 5 supplies, they'll give you $5 worth of Porta Subs online cash. So you can go back, order a free small sub if you just want to use your $5 and get a sandwich. But we're not picky as far as what the supplies are, and we're not asking for 5 supplies. You know, even if you pick up a pack of pens, it can go a long way.
It's like a win-win.
It is.
We give the supplies, which I love school supplies, I gotta admit.
Isn't it fun? I know.
You start seeing how cheap those spiral-bound notebooks are.
Yes.
I am all over that. I got no
Christmas.
kids, but I go buy them by the stack. This is a great opportunity for me to just let go of all of that stuff.
If you don't need them, it'll be okay.
Well, let's get real and say, you know what? It's nice to have 10 of them in the house. Do you really need them? Because we do know that they go on sale at this time of year.
Yes.
Right.
So it's not like I'm thinking it'll never happen again. Take the stuff to Porta Subs, and Leticia, you say 37 locations. There is one in your neighborhood,
Exactly.
no doubt.
Right now, through July 23rd, we're rallying the community together to get the supplies so they can go and drop them off. And then after July 23rd, we're actually putting together the supply kits that we're going to give away to the teachers for free July 28th at the Galleria Mall from 10 to 1. So teachers just come out. All they need is their credentials. So I know CCSD teachers have school badges. We just ask to show the school badge. If you don't work for CCSD, private schools, charter schools, those type of schools, we do ask that you just pull up your school photo on the website and just show us that. And the only reason why is because we know that parents and the kids, it's a time when kind of everyone needs the supplies, but this one is really, really focused on the teachers. So we want to make sure we're supplying them 100%.
And Alicia Fletcher, who teaches fourth grade. Ms. Fletcher!
Miss Fletcher, yeah.
Is that what your students call you?
Yes, I was at Lois Craig Elementary last year, and I'll be at Hollingsworth this year. So I have been the coolest Miss Fletcher on the block. So I'm excited to take that cool over into the next school.
Decorations for a whole new classroom.
Oh, yes. That's so exciting.
Well, Ms. Fletcher, how long have you been a teacher?
This will be my 3rd year in CCSD, but I've been a teacher for years. Didn't really want to get into education, but it seems like every job I landed, I was in some form of educational leadership. So you get to a point in life where you think, like all the signs are there. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. So here in Vegas, 2 years, and I've loved every ounce of it. It's been an absolute ride to work with my little big people.
We always need great teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
When you started out, did you ever think that you would have the need for extra school supplies out of your own pocket as much as you do?
No. You hear the rumors. When you get into the profession, you always have teachers who have been there, done that. They've been in it for years. So you hear people say stuff, but coming in, it was like, no, I only have a couple of kids. Their parents are going to come through. I remember when I was a kid, my mom was like, what's your list? What do you need? What are we going to go get? We would go to Walmart, Target, or whatever. It just didn't dawn on me that I would have so many kids, and then I would have so many kids come and go throughout the year. So it's like when you get the supplies the kids have and they leave school and you have another 2-3 kids come in, it's like, oh, that class set is now missing. So needing to replenish things that are gone, that was tough.
You know, I think back to when I was in school, which is way before you were in school, Ms. Fletcher. The lists back then were simpler because technology and things like that. It's more expensive to outfit a kid for school these days.
Yes.
Plus, we got to realize that a lot of these families who are already strapped don't just have one child.
Right. When I was in high school, we needed do you remember TI-81 calculators?
Yeah.
$90 calculators.
They were very expensive.
Oh, man. But they graphed and did everything. It was so fancy. But, when I almost lost mine, my mom almost lost her mind. Just the things we needed.
But now it's much more expensive to outfit a kid.
Yes.
Because we're talking about things like iPads.
Yes.
Right.
To help them get through their school day.
Yes.
And that is an expensive piece of tech.
Oh, man.
And for several kids.
iPads.
Yep. All of that. So it is more expensive. But what we're looking for, and I go back to you, Leticia, to find out for the Supply a Teacher Drive, which is going on at any Porta Subs, 37 of them around the valley.
Yep.
You're not looking for me to come and bring an iPad.
No.
That would be nice.
I would not drop that in one of the boxes.
No.
We will never, ever see that. But we did create posters that we brought in today, and these are located at all of the Porta Subs locations as well as supplyteacher.us. So if you need to see a school supply list to get an idea of what those supplies are, copy paper, and I'm taking Miss Fletcher's words, is golden for teachers because they use copy paper for everything. They're copying assignments, tests, syllabus, whatever it is that they need to hand out to their students continuously throughout their school year. But Post-its, notebooks, pens, pencils, glue sticks, color pencils, color paper. There's a huge population of just elementary school teachers here in our valley, and they definitely need a little bit extra. The copy paper, the notepads, pens and pencils, but then also those creative things like the color pencils and the crayons and the glue sticks and the fun, edgy, safe scissors, just to keep their classroom going and being that creative place for their students.
That whole copy paper thing, I hadn't considered that.
I didn't either last year. So this is our second year doing this, and I didn't have a Miss Fletcher by my side at that time. I did have a few teacher friends in that I could reach out to, be like, hey, we're going to do this thing. What do you guys need? They just gave us a list. And then once we met more teachers and we were giving out the supplies last year, it was like copy paper. We're like, I didn't know.
Well, handouts and stuff that you give to the
that
class.
you don't think about. And of course, once it's printed on and written on and graded, you can't reuse copy paper. So it's a continuous flow for the 9 months that you guys are in school.
Wow.
It blew your mind, right?
Yes,
it blew my mind too.
Mind blown.
You think school supplies, you're like, oh, notebooks and pens and pencils, and you're like, we're good. And it's like, no, they need copy paper on top of all of those supplies as well.
But all the supplies that you're mentioning that are on the posters at all the Porta Subs, giving you ideas of things that would be very useful.
Absolutely.
Not expensive items.
No.
Even a ream of copy paper doesn't cost you much.
Exactly. And if the whole valley, let's say, just got one ream, imagine how many teachers that would supply on top of the other donations we're getting with the pens and pencils and things like that. It doesn't cost a lot.
And then Porta Subs is going to gift you back with $5, like a gift card.
Yes.
You can use that for lunch or put it toward whatever you want. But it's your gift from Porta Subs for being part of the Supply a Teacher Drive.
Yes.
Ms. Fletcher.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't said that for a long time. It just kind of feels good. It makes you feel
good,
really young.
It
does.
Right?
We realize that a lot of these kids coming in, their parents just don't have the resources to get them some clothes, some shoes, and things that they need. They don't have that extra to make sure that they're outfitted with as many school supply items as you really need them to have. Because as a teacher, you need those students to have those items.
Yes. I need my kids to be in a place where their confidence is built. There's so much on TV and there's so much in our neighborhoods that kind of dig at our kids' self-esteem. So we don't want them to come to school and have another reason to feel insecure. So when you have the things you need to succeed, that's one less distraction. Every teacher can attest to those 2-3 kids in the class who are withdrawn for whatever reason. It may be because I don't have a pencil or I don't have a notebook. It doesn't make any sense for you to come to school and not learn because of lack of resources.
Are you watching the kids and seeing if they don't have what they need? Guys, pull out your notebooks, get yourself a pencil. We're going to take some notes. We're going to talk about a certain subject. Are you able as a teacher to see the need before, or do they have to kind of come up to you and say, hey, I don't have that?
Well, I've been blessed this last school year at Lois Craig. I built a relationship with my kids. Like, I'm your school mom. Whatever you need, and a lot of teachers will attest, I'm the doctor doctor, nurse, therapist. I policed the classroom. So me and my babies were in a position where it was like, if you need something, I need you to speak up because I can't read your mind. I don't have that superpower yet. And so some of my kids were comfortable enough where they would go, Miss Fletcher, I don't have it. Miss Fletcher, my mom can't. And then I would have some of my kids where I've been blessed in the sense that I can read your face. And again, for somebody who didn't necessarily feel that they were meant to be a teacher, it's such an honor to be in a position where I can see you like nobody else can see you. So those are the kids where I pull them to the side after school. You pull them to the side maybe on the way to lunch. Hey, buddy, what's going on? What do you need? A lot of kids coming in mid-year just knowing they don't have it because at the beginning of the school year, you do your best to...
The list and everything's on sale,
Yes.
and there's a big push.
You can get like a stack of books. All right, guys, we need a book for math. We need a book for writing. We need a book for social studies. The resources we had, if I had paper books, I cut them in half. And those were our kids' journaling books. So when I just need you to write for 3 minutes, just write whatever came to your mind. Just be able to cut a resource in half and stretch it because, again, we got to make it work with what we have. So when we have people who are able to give more to help us have more, we don't have to get so magically creative to stretch things
Right.
out. My kids especially, we needed books for every subject. And then I might get lucky enough to have, oh my gosh, emergency paper, emergency ream paper at the end of the year. We were stretching because we had homework and there were syllabi that had to go out, parent letters. That extra paper came in clutch at the end of the year.
Supplies are dwindling toward the end.
Right? It's like, what can I send out in the email? Because this paper is getting really low. So that was super awesome.
Would you ever have thought when you started teaching that you would have this much need for school supplies to help your kids?
No. I particularly like to work in certain areas because I believe all kids, no matter their zip code, deserve an awesome teacher. And not even to think highly of myself, but I think of myself as a teacher who loves with her whole heart. So I never considered those big things. I just thought I'd show up, make them laugh, and teach them multiplication, and we would end the day and high-five them. But I never considered pencils. My kids eat pencils for breakfast. I say it all the time. They just disappear. Erasers are like elusive. It's like you see it and it's the last time you'll ever see it.
You don't know where it went, but it's not here.
Right, they're just gone. Kids just go through things. My goodness. You get a pack of pencils and within a day, gone. You never know the need is so important.
Boy, and you never want to say, they don't have pencils, so too bad.
Right.
No, it's a learning tool. This is all about kids and learning.
I need you writing. I need to see that brain connection. I need you to know your multiplication before you get out of here. Like, I need you set up for success. I need my kids learning because my kids know, and if there are any of Miss Fletcher's kids listening, we got to get to college. We don't have time for this. So if I have to give you 3 pencils to make sure that you're prepared for what this looks like when you get to that college admissions level, okay, we'll do what we can.
It's the Supply a Teacher Drive, and it's on through late July at 37 Portasubs locations all around town. Leticia with the Live to Give group put this all together. We've heard numbers over past years, Ms. Fletcher, that teachers like yourself end up spending hundreds of dollars of your own money
Yes.
for school supplies for your kids to make sure that they have what they need. And the last time I looked, teacher salaries aren't so fat that you got a bunch of extra hundreds of dollars to be doing that.
One day. Let's hope. One day.
Well, here's a dream.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. To have that extra expenditure is really difficult. It's putting you in a pinch. But how can you, as a caring teacher, turn a blind eye and go, they're on their own?
Right. Last school year, I had 200 on record, but it could have been up to 500. Some teachers are spending up to thousands, especially when you get up to that middle school, high school level where the demands are different. And like you discussed earlier, the technology is more complicated.
Yes, and expensive.
Yes, you have teachers who are spending large amounts out of their pocket. And then if you have certain SPED classrooms, the seating has to be a certain type of seat to make sure that my kids can move while they're learning. And as cool as those classrooms are, and the coolest classrooms ever, you need some funding for those seats. So different teachers have different needs, and those needs can get expensive.
And it's all about the kids.
Yes.
and learning.
Yes.
And as a teacher, we're lucky to have you, Miss Fletcher, because you really care about your fourth grade students.
I do.
And you're going to do whatever you have to do to make sure they have what they need to learn.
Yes, ma'am. Every day.
So the Supply a Teacher Drive, school supplies are on sale during this time of the year. It's not going to cost much at all for us to help. And in return, Leticia, Portasubs is going to take care of us.
They for sure are. They're going to give you $5 free off your next online order, which is the equivalent of a small sandwich. But, the whole point is just to get people to donate. And a lot of people are coming through Portasubs, and they really just come because they want to donate, or they've had a teacher in their life that made an impact, or they have a family member that's a teacher. So they've already heard the stories of how much they spend each year. And so they really do come in, not looking for that $5, but really to give back to a teacher in our community. The $5 is just kind of an extra incentive. We want to show that we're thankful for people taking the time, one, to go to the store and pick up supplies, spend a little money, and then drive to a location. Even though there should be one close by, you still have to take all of those things into account to get the school supply finally in that donation box so that we can give it to our teachers.
And that give back gift from Portasubs.
Exactly.
Bonus!
There you go.
You mentioned that most of us have had a teacher in our lives that have been very special to us.
Right.
And helped us to learn what we needed to know to become successful adults. I think we've all had someone like that. Is that a great feeling, Ms. Fletcher, when you find out that you are that person for someone?
Yes. I think we really underestimate how big our role is in our kids' life. Sometimes when you have students who are in a situation where there's a lot of chaos in their at-home life, school is the one place where they can feel most secure. That teacher shows up every day. The love is there every day. It's a sense of security, a sense of comfort that, hey, I know Ms. Fletcher's going to be here. We're going to eat breakfast, eat lunch. I'm going to learn today. It's just an honor to be a part of my kids' journey. I don't know who they'll be. I don't know where they'll go, but I'm excited to have been a part of their timeline and to have been in that chapter of like, let's go. Let me give you all the love I can give you. Let me educate you the best way I know how, and let me send you on your way.
Yeah.
We're going to get into another school year very soon. It's like opening up a whole new box of adventures.
Yes.
And
yes.
with kids who are well supplied with what they need to learn, they're outfitted with all of the tools. That's going to make them more confident.
Yes.
Right.
Confident kids feel empowered.
They do.
And they can be successful.
And they become confident adults.
The Supply a Teacher Drive is on at all 37 Portasubs locations around the valley.
Right.
Drop them off by
July 23rd. That is our cutoff because that week we will get everything together so that we can give these supplies for free to our teachers that Saturday, July 28th at the Galleria Mall from 10 to 1. So right now we're in collection mode. Anything and everything. Copy paper, like we mentioned earlier, is golden for teachers, but pens, notebooks, glue sticks, scissors, color pencils, crayons, everything and anything that you guys are already seeing out there, like you said, on sale is something that they all need. And don't be shy. Go to the dollar store. It's all good.
Hey, it works.
They work, yes. And they are so appreciative. Last year, our goal was to hit 200 teachers. We exceeded that goal. And they were there before we were. We have to get there and get everything set up, bring the supplies in, and teachers were already there waiting for these supplies. As we were getting everything together, the line just began to wrap around where we were in the mall. And I did have a chance to talk to teachers, and one teacher was like, I spent one year $2,000 on school supplies.
Wow.
It was things like that, the copy paper phenomenon that I learned that really was like, oh my gosh, we got to keep doing this. And actually, Portasubs reached out to us because they heard about the campaign and was like, what can we do? How can we get together? Now we're here, and they're a huge supporter in trying to get the community involved to get us these school supplies. And so they've opened their doors. There's a box in every single location. People can go in and just drop off supplies.
It's an excuse to go and buy a bunch of school supplies because they're on sale.
Yes.
So I can give you 90% of what I got, and I can hold on and
there you
squirrel
go.
away the other
That's
10%.
okay. You can go shopping, go one for them, two for me. It doesn't matter. We're not greedy. It's okay.
And it makes a huge difference, I'm sure, on that distribution day. A lot of thank yous and smiles from teachers because they know what a big difference this is going to make.
Yes, and they've all been helpful, and even reaching out to them and learning, we want to do better. What can we do?
Copy paper. Wow, I
Copy
never
paper
knew.
and Post-its. That was another one that I was like, oh, okay. And you don't know because thinking you're like, okay, school supplies, pens and pencils and notebooks. Like that seems like you're going to do good. And they do and they need it. But Post-its and copy paper. I was learning something every time a teacher reached out.
Dry erase markers.
Yes, all those things,
man.
you know. You can find the list at Porta Subs as well. We provided posters that have a list or supplyteacher.us, full list for our
And
teachers.
you know that I'll put all those links and everything on our Talking Solutions Facebook page along with a podcast.
Thank you, Terry.
Awesome.
Leticia, you've been here with me before. You
Yes.
know I'm going to ask as part of Talking Solutions, what can we do to help you?
The main thing is just to get out there and get some school supplies and sharing this on social media, not only sharing it with the community, but sharing this with the teacher. So our goal now, last year was 200. We're trying to get 500 teachers
You're more
supplied.
than doubling it.
I know. There's so many more teachers out there. So if we can get 500 teachers at least supplied, really supplied, like not just, a couple little things here and there, but the goal is to have bags full of things that they can at least feel like, oh my gosh, I'm set at least for the month or a few months of school. And, eventually our goal is to really get them supplied for the entire year. But if we can get them feeling like, wow, I'm good starting off, then we did our job. So that's what we need the community to help us with.
Ms. Fletcher,
Yes, ma'am.
Talking Solutions, we always ask, what can we do to help you?
We're just looking for everybody to come out. And for those of you who have donated, we thank you so much, Porta Subs. We are so appreciative. Live to Give, so incredibly appreciative that you guys have this drive going on. Please go out. Go to the 99-cent store. Go to Walmart, wherever you can find supplies on sale. We will take it all. We're just very appreciative to our community. If supporting us is not something that you can financially do, when you see a teacher, just high five us. Simply say a thank you. It's a very underappreciated profession. We enjoy the love. Hug on us.
Well, being that you're very important in making sure that these kids are well educated, they are our future leaders.
Yes.
They are our future all the way around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So whether or not you have children, you still kind of do have children.
Yes.
You've got the kids that are growing up here in Southern Nevada who need all of us to work together. We know that a huge percentage of the kids in Clark County schools are getting free or reduced price lunches
Yes.
because their parents are strapped. Affordable housing here, that's like an oxymoron. Good luck finding affordable housing.
Right.
So they already have a lot on their plates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just being able to keep a roof over the kids' heads, to feed them and give them what they need, chances are really good that when it comes time to outfit them for a new school year, the money just doesn't stretch that far.
Right.
So for all of us as citizens of Southern Nevada, whether you're parents or not, kick in and help out however much you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please.
It's full circle, and it takes a village.
It's true. The Supply, a teacher drive, big props to Porta Subs that they reached out to you
Yes.
and said, how can we help?
Shout out to Mike Adams. He's amazing.
Awesome. Awesome.
Going on through July 23rd, so you got some time to drop off any kind of school supplies you can get your hands on.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Drop them off at Porta Subs. Porta Subs returns the love by giving you $5 in online ordering. I got to tell you, I do the apps for online ordering now because you can tell them exactly what you want on your
Yes.
sandwich and you don't have to stand in line. Do it in advance.
Yeah.
Boom, it's ready. You're
It's
gone.
ready. Especially those days when you're really hungry.
Oh, man.
Right?
That would be every day, right?
Right. This is true. You got me.
The Supply a Teacher Drive. Well, Leticia and Miss Fletcher, am I forgetting anything?
No, that's good, Terry. I just want to always thank you for your support and bringing us on to share what we have going on in the community. This one's our baby because it really is doing so much for our teachers, for our community, for our youth, and like you said, for even ourselves. If we can help kids get better education and have our teachers supplied, then that means that they're going to take care of us when we're older and need it.
It
So,
makes for a stronger community.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. And
And
that's the best way to put it.
It hadn't even been a year now since 1 October. We're finding out what a true community we really do have.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
And for a sad reason, season, but we are finding out that we really have something special here in Las Vegas.
Yes, we do.
So we don't want to forget our school kids because that's a big part of it.
Yep.
Yes.
It is the Supply a Teacher Drive at Porta Subs, 37 locations around the valley through July 23rd. After that, you've got that next week to separate all the supplies, gather them all up, and get out to the Galleria for a July 28th distribution to teachers.
Absolutely.
Ms. Fletcher, I bet you'll be there with your ID to get some supplies.
Oh, absolutely. Be there early with my large cup of coffee, meeting all the teachers and just meeting the community, seeing who comes out. Very excited to meet everyone.
School supplies are on sale. You can help. All the information, links, and everything will be on the Talking Solutions Facebook page, along with podcast of our discussion today. Leticia, and I have to say it right, Ms. Fletcher, Alicia Fletcher, going to 4th grade at a new school this year. You're going to be at Hollingsworth Elementary. Thank you so much for coming to join us today for Talking Solutions.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you for having us.